Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp. Good morning.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How you, Jenny?
Yeah.
How are you?
Good.
What's
Hey,
the
Skip, how
problem?
you doing?
Yeah, what's going on?
What you mean? Why you so?
Problem. I don't know. You're just doing weird stuff.
What am I doing? I spoke to Jenny. I can't speak to Jenny. I speak to you.
Yeah.
You're like, how you doing, Jenny? And stop bringing them papers on the desk.
You know what? I'll be just fine if just one time today we can talk about Thomas Edward Patrick Brady. Just one time, and I'll be happy. Is that possible?
We're going to start talking about him early, but you ain't going to
really?
like what I got to say.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's just get to it.
We are going to
Yeah.
get to Tom Brady, but we're also going to talk about Bill Belichick. Is he a bit shady? You know, shady.
That's not my
He's doing
term.
something. Then we
But I
got
like it.
LeBron.
I like
We're going to see him back on the court anytime soon, hopefully this week. But let's start with the Super Bowl. There are a lot of big names down in Atlanta, and apparently the consensus is Aaron Donald is the best among them. Both CBS and Pro Football Focus ranked every player in the Super Bowl, and they both put Donald at the top of the list. Tom Brady can win his 6th championship on Sunday, and he was ranked 3rd by CBS and 2nd by Pro Football Focus. So, Shannon, do you agree Aaron Donald is the best player in the Super Bowl?
You know, yeah, and it's not even close. It's not even close.
What?
Aaron Donald is the most dominant player. There's no player in the NFL, regardless of position, that's more dominant at his position than Aaron Donald is at his. Tom Brady, look, see, you always want to, well, he did this and he has 5 Super Bowls. No, we're evaluating on him this year.
Yeah.
On this year.
Yeah, right here, right now.
So,
Yeah.
Aaron Donald's going to get some votes for MVP. Tom Brady's going to get some of that? I didn't think so. But anyway, Aaron Donald has 20.5 sacks, the most sacks ever for a defensive tackle. He's 16 clear of the next closest guy on his team, despite constantly being double-teamed. So not only did he lead the league in sacks, he led the league in tackle for losses, he led the league in quarterback hits, constantly getting double-teamed. Skip, he's the premier guy, and he's starting to get into that Joe Green. He's starting to get into that Warren Sapp. Generational players. Now, he had that phenomenal year last year, was Defensive Player of the Year. They extended him. And normally teams are leery. Well, is he going to work as hard now that he got his money? Aaron Donald said, y'all underpaid me. After what he did last year, this year, he said, y'all underpaid me. Showed you why they gave him the big long-term deal. Showed you why he's the best player in the game. In the NFC Championship game, he was double-teamed on 79% of the plays. If I get it, quarterback, as a guy that's starting a lot of offensive game plan, and we played against Reggie White and played against Bruce Smith, those are the guys, no matter what we're doing, whether we're running the ball or we're throwing it, where are they? When you set your offensive game plan, the one thing you must know, where is 99? Because if you don't account for him, you got no chance of getting your playoff. So he is, they got it correctly. He's the most dominant. He's the best player. He's the best. I want to repeat. Look at me. He's the best player in all of football.
You finished? I'm still looking at you, but I'm not hearing much.
Go ahead.
Are you done?
Best player.
Is that all you got?
Best player. I got some more stuff. I want to hear what you got to say so I can just punch holes in your argument.
I got to tell you, this whole notion is asinine to me. It's ASA 10, ASA 11, ASA 12, ASA 99 to me.
Oh, now you have some magic number.
It is ludicrous, and in the end, it's flat out silly what we're talking about right now, because quarterback clearly and obviously is the hardest position to play in all of sports.
No, Skip. No, that's not what.
And not only is Tom Brady the greatest to ever play this position. Nope, I'm getting to it right now. You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
Not only is he the greatest ever to play it, he has never been better than he was in 2 playoff games.
No. They didn't rate 2 playoff games. They rated the entire season. See, I knew you was going to do that.
Wait. I'm doing right now. I'm doing right here. You're trying to even look back at the season.
That's what they rated it. That's how they rated it.
Really?
Yes.
So as the anchor of the Los Angeles Rams defense, the defense finished 20th in points allowed, and that's the best player in football? I don't get that. I'm sorry, I'm lost on that one.
Okay,
but I do know what I just saw Tom Brady do in 2 playoff games, especially in the second one at Arrowhead. Against all odds, Tom Brady and company went 13 of 19 on third down to ludicrously control the football 44 minutes to only 21 for Kansas City and keep Patrick Mahomes mostly on the sideline, except for the 3 minutes he had the ball in the fourth quarter and scored 24 points. And Tom Brady still overcame that in overtime with 3 straight 3rd and 10 completions. I'm sorry. If you ask, if we did a poll of GMs right now, just right now going into this Super Bowl, which player do you want on your team?
That's not what the question was.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
No, it wasn't.
Which player is the best?
Hold on.
Who's the best player? Well, they would, if Aaron Donald's the best player, they would all just say, we'll take Aaron Donald.
Skip,
Who would take Aaron Donald in this game?
That wasn't
They
the
would
question.
all take Tom Brady. It's laughable.
That's not the question.
Sorry.
The best.
What do you mean?
Who was the best?
Who is the best?
Who is the best?
Is, not was. We're not doing past performance. We're doing right now. Who do you want on your side on Super Bowl Sunday? I'm taking Tom Brady. I'll give you Aaron Donald. I'll give you Donald Aaron. You can have Donald Aaron, too.
They graded every player 16 games and the playoffs. And they said the best player.
Okay, all right.
See, all you did was take those 2 games. Okay, let's take Tennessee. Okay, Skip.
No, wait, I'm going. I think it's my turn.
Well, go ahead.
'Cause I haven't even gotten started here because in the 2 playoff games I've watched the Rams play, Aaron Donald has a grand total of 0 sacks. Wow, 0.
How many tackles for losses?
If not for the worst blown call in sports history, Aaron Donald's team would not be in this game right now.
But they are. We can't do it if not.
All right, I'm just trying to put this in some perspective for you.
Okay, if Kansas City, if D4 is not offside, New England's not in this game. So we're going to do hypotheticals.
So if I go back to the last time the Patriots were stopped short of the Super Bowl, I got to go all the way back to that game in Denver. Remember that game? The AFC Championship game? Now, let me just tell you what I'm doing here. Because that game, Von Miller was dominating. That game, Von Miller leaped off my TV screen because they couldn't block Von Miller. They couldn't keep him off Tom Brady.
They couldn't block DeMarcus Ware. Okay. They couldn't block
But
Malik
it was mostly Von Miller, and they tried everything. They tried chipping. He was playing at the hottest, highest level I think I've ever seen a pass rusher, an edge rusher play at. And my point is, it's so much easier for the edge rusher to get to the quarterback because it's hard for the defensive tackle. You can anchor. You can anchor. Okay, so the point is, I'll take Von Miller at that stage and that age and the havoc he wreaked that day. He had 2.5 sacks and he intercepted Tom Brady.
Yes.
Well, that's outrageous because that's why he was the biggest reason why Denver held off Tom Brady 20-18 in that game, right? So if you want to give me that guy and that kind of argument, that day Von Miller was better than Tom Brady.
Skip, here's the thing. You look at what Von did, but he also had a guy on the other side that had double-digit sacks. He had 2 guys in the middle.
To my eye right now, the dominating defensive lineman for the Rams is Sue. Every time I look up, Sue is free.
Let me ask you a question. Who's getting double teamed?
Well, okay, obviously, but if he's that guy, you should be able to beat double teams. I saw Reggie White just dominate double teams. I saw Randy White dominate double teams. I don't know if you remember the Manster, but they couldn't block him. 2 people could not block Randy White. So Mean Joe Green in his heyday, he was unblockable by 2. This guy, okay, I'm just going. I thought it was my turn. I gave you the floor first. Did he go first?
But Skip, the objective is that I take the floor, then you take the floor, and give it back. Not you hold it the whole time.
Wait a minute. I need to talk about the 2 games I've seen recently.
Exactly. All you're doing is 2 games.
No, I'm doing 2 games against Dallas. Against my Cowboys this year in the playoffs, he had 0 sacks and he had 2 tackles. I just don't remember, except for the one play in which Jason Garrett somehow stupidly said, let's hand it to Zeke right into Aaron Donald and Sue, and he went nowhere fast. And then last year at Jerry World, I watched the whole game, and I barely noticed Aaron Donald, because I don't know. He had 2 tackles and no sacks in that game, and my team had 24-16 at halftime, but couldn't hold on and lost 35-30 in a shootout in the second half. And I'm saying, if he's the best player on the field, wouldn't I notice him? And I didn't notice it. But then I read last night, the Madden simulation has the Rams winning this game 30-27 because it says that Aaron Donald is going to have 4 sacks in this game. 4 sacks. Wow. Well, if he does that, then you might have a case, because that would wreak havoc on Tom Brady. But are you willing to put some dew on that? Would you like to do 4 sacks?
Well,
I'll tell you what. I'll bet 5 cases of Diet Dew right now that Aaron Donald doesn't have 4 sacks.
Hold on, Skip.
Would you like to do that?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
But you can't see what you like to do is that you want to highlight Tom Brady's greatest 2 games.
Well, they were the 2 games.
No, but that's not what they did.
They're the build-up games to this game.
No.
They're the money games.
So when was the last time? So in other words, you're saying you want Pro Football Focus to just do the last 2 games and not the season.
I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't get it. I'm taking them on as well as you. I don't get it.
Now you don't like Pro Football Focus. When all these general managers, all these former coaches, and all they do is sit around and watch more tape than Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless.
I'm just saying, I disagree with this takeaway.
Oh, you disagree now.
Mm-hmm.
But all the other
I just gave you all the reasons why, and I'm only halfway through my argument. If you want me to keep going.
No, I don't want you to keep going. Skip Bayless, if you look at what he's doing, think about it. He had 20.5 sacks. And Ndamukong Suh had 4.5. That's 16 clear. You talk about Randy White. You know why they couldn't double-team Randy White? Because he had Ed Too Tall Jones and Harvey Martin. You do remember
sometimes it can happen like that.
When Reggie was in Philly, you know what he had?
I know exactly what he had.
Jay Boogie. He had Clyde Simmons. He had Seth Joyner, Byron Evans. Those guys.
Plus he had Buddy Ryan.
Yes.
Yep.
So, Skip, all I'm saying is this. And you evaluate every game, and you grade every game. If you can come away with the conclusion, Tom Brady was not the best quarterback in football this year. Is there any question about that?
No, he had the highest degree of difficulty to get his team. You know what? I told you all year. I thought he deserved MVP for what he pulled off. This is his greatest achievement.
The degree of difficulty.
He got a team here that didn't deserve to be here in any way, shape, or form.
That's not what Vegas said. Vegas said they were the favorite to win Super Bowl 53.
Well,
that's what Vegas said in August.
Then after 2 weeks, what did Vegas say?
No.
After 3 weeks, after 4 weeks, they started to plummet down the list. Okay. And by midseason, they were a long shot.
And we're going to do this. And we're going to do this early. We're going to do this late in the show. Okay. The Rams opened up as favorite. And then what happened? Okay, then things happened. Now back to the original scheduled program. Skip Bayless. I see what you try to do. You always try to do this. You want to nitpick, Skip, if you don't mind me asking.
Nitpick?
Yes, you do. When Tom Brady threw for 121 yards and 2 interceptions against Buffalo, did you think he was the best player in the NFL then? Or what about when he threw for the 130 against Detroit and they lost? They scored 10 points.
Who should have been the 1 seed in the AFC? Who should have been?
No.
No, seriously.
You're changing the argument.
I'm not changing the argument. I'm just telling you it's your totality of your work this year. Tom Brady played well enough to get a mediocre team to the 1 seed. That's outrageously good, and he doesn't get the credit for it. How do you do that? He had his best game at Miami, and they blow it with the Miami Miracle.
And he had his worst game against Detroit, against Tennessee, and they blow it.
Well, everybody. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was pathetic all year.
Not Aaron Rodgers.
Wait a second. Should Aaron Rodgers retire now?
This is Aaron Donald. This has nothing to do with Rodgers. This has nothing to do with my homeboy.
Well, sometimes it's Donald Aaron.
No.
I don't know.
Call it what you want to. But he's about to be, guess what he's about to be, Skip Bayless? 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. And he's probably going to win this one unanimously.
Is he going to be the MVP of the Super Bowl? If he is, you got a case.
That's not what Skip.
You might have a case to do.
Skip. That's not what they said. They didn't say anything about the MVP. All they said, the best player in this game, over all the game footage that we've evaluated, is Aaron Donald. Now, you want to change the argument. The quarterback plays the hardest position. He's the most important player. Tom Brady had the highest degree of difficulty. He had a coach who doesn't believe in him. That's not what they're doing.
You know what you should do? I recommend to everybody to go watch the detail featuring Peyton Manning analyzing Tom Brady's game at Arrowhead, because it gives you chills. You like X's and O's. I love X's and O's, and I was mesmerized by Peyton's breakdown of what Brady kept pulling off, the audible calls, the decision making. to seeing right through every disguise. He breaks it down.
What
You ought to go watch
disguise?
it. You ought to go watch it. There's lots of attempts.
All they did was slip the formation on two of the most important plays.
They tried robbers. They tried lots of things. And Brady saw right through it. And his decision-making, the audibles were just spectacular, what he would do. Because every time he would audible, he would just gash them with the correct play.
Did you see?
And the deadly accuracy on the clutch down throws is just spellbinding to watch it in slow motion and let Peyton break it down for you. This was artistry. This was, to use your word last Monday, virtuoso.
Yes.
These were two masterpieces.
Kind of like
Aaron Donald can't do that at his position because his position doesn't really have artistry to it.
Did you see that Monday night game against Kansas City?
Yeah.
Was that a virtuoso by Aaron Donald?
Yeah. Who won that game?
The Rams.
Okay. So
Was that a virtuoso?
Tom Brady beat the Chiefs twice. Beat them twice.
Hold on. Did Kansas City, did the Rams beat them? Did the Rams beat Kansas City? Was Aaron Donald, was that a virtuoso on Monday night? It's a simple no or simple yes, Skip, baby.
It was a great performance. I'll give you that.
I only hear virtuoso.
There's no virtuoso to playing defensive tackle.
What?
How much thought goes into playing defensive tackle? Seriously. How much of the mental operates there? Not a lot.
Yes, it does.
A little bit.
You got to get
on.
You got to set the guy up. You got to get on the edges. You got to do a lot of different things.
It compares favorably to quarterback.
See that? Not everything's compared to.
Stop. Stop it. We're talking about a quarterback and a defensive tackle. If you gave me an edge rusher, I might say. Yeah,
so hold on. So under your theory, Blake Bortles and any quarterback in the NFL is better than Aaron Donald since they play the quarterback position, and it's the hardest position to play, and it's the most valuable. So every quarterback is more important than Aaron Donald.
Every quarterback in this game is more important. Jared Goff is more important than Aaron Donald. You know it, and I know it.
They didn't say important. They said best. The best player.
Who is the best player? What if we ask every GM right now, who's the best player in the Super Bowl? They would all say Tom Brady.
Aaron Donald.
They would all take Tom Brady because they'd be afraid
No.
him.
That's not about taking. They said who is the best player.
So let's think about the Patriots. They had a grand total of 2 Pro Bowlers this year, and one of them was fraudulent, says Shannon Sharp, because Shannon Sharp said that Andrew Luck should have replaced Tom Brady on the AFC
I didn't
Pro
lie.
Bowl. Okay, so we'll cancel that one then. So they had 1 Pro Bowler and none on offense. That's none, and they got to this game, I don't know how. And Tom Brady used to have Brandon Cooks, but now he's a Ram because his coach traded him to the Rams. But their receiver who caught the most balls, most targets, most yards, tied for the most touchdowns, Robert Woods. Although Brandon Cooks in the NFC Championship game caught 7 balls and 7 targets for 104 yards. So there are 2 receivers right now better than any receiver that Tom Brady has. And we got broken down.
And Aaron Donald's better than all of them.
Okay, so I'll give you that. But now we got Gronk broken down. He had 47 catches this year. The tight ends for the Rams, they had 57 catches. So that's advantage Rams, right?
Tight ends.
Yeah, tight ends. Okay, but they're both better. Gerald Everett and Tyler Higbee, they're better. Combination better. I'll take them over Gronk any day.
Oh, no,
Gronk had a couple of big catches just because Brady said, I'm going to do this for you. You're going out with a bang.
Who's
going out with a bang.
So even though that catch up on the side on the rail that was underthrown, that Gronk made a hell of a play on in front of Eric Berry.
But what a decision that was. Woo! Woo!
You see what you did, Skip?
What a decision that was.
It was a great decision.
So who has the best running backs this game? Would you rather have Todd Gurley and the hottest C.J. Anderson or Sony Michel and Burke?
Whoa! I'm glad you mentioned.
Yeah.
Who had a top 5 running game, Skip?
Top 5?
Yeah.
Well, they do. They got a good offensive line.
Oh, the Patriots do. Who's been sacked? How many times has Tom Brady in the playoffs?
They throw to run. They have always thrown to run.
I don't know what they do or why they do it. Can you tell me who was the 3rd least sacked quarterback in all of football?
I can tell you this. Tom Brady got rid of the ball in the 2 playoff games, an average of 2.1 seconds. It's unheard of. No one's ever been able to get rid of the ball this quickly and this deadly accurately as he did in those 2 playoff games.
When was the last time somebody ran the ball like the New England Patriots are running the ball in these 2 playoff games?
Guess who wears out the defensive line? Tom Brady he wore out 2 of them.
What you're trying to do, all this is about Tom Brady. The offensive line, you have yet to give the offensive line any credit.
I give credit.
No, you didn't. You say Tom Brady wore out the offensive line. You say they throw the run. Sony Michel and Burkhead and James White have yet to receive any credit. It's all Tom Brady. But When they lost to Tennessee, when they lost to Jacksonville, when they lost to Detroit, they lost to Miami, all I heard you say was Bill Belichick and the defense. Why is that?
Because in the end, Tom Brady had to rise above a below-average defense, and I'm being nice about that, with a lack of weapons that you said all year you didn't know how he was pulling it off because you have little to no respect for any of his weapons.
I'm not debating whether Tom Brady is good or not because he's great. He's transcendent. He's a virtuoso performer in the biggest of moments. But that wasn't the question. Jenny asked, is Aaron Donald the best player in the Super Bowl? And I said,
and a big answer is no.
And I unequivocally said, absolutely. And it's not close.
Not close?
Not close.
Well, how can you back that up?
Easy.
Like, I watched the whole game. Believe it or not, I watched Dallas play at the Rams, and I just barely remember Aaron Donald playing in that game. He had no sacks and two tackles. Think about this. Wait. Was he the reason that the Rams beat the Cowboys, knocked them out of the playoffs? No, the reason was they ran for 170 yards in the first half and 273 total.
Oh, you didn't say nothing. Hold on.
No.
But you didn't say anything about Sonny Michel and James White running the ball like they ran the ball in the playoffs. All you've talked about was Tom Brady. So what does that running game have to do with anything?
13 of 19 on third down, 9 times throwing the ball.
What about,
how do you do that?
What about those 100 yards rushing Sonny Michel?
They always have that. Yeah, they
always get 100 yards rushing.
They throw to run.
No. They run to run. Sonny Michel had 100 yards rushing, not 100 yards rushing and receiving. He ran the ball.
You ought to go watch Peyton's breakdown. You would learn something.
Well, I want to hear Warren Sapp's breakdown of Aaron Donald. That's what I want to hear.
You know
That's what I want to hear.
I really don't.
Yeah, I want to hear Warren Sapp breakdown. Yeah, you do. I want to hear Sapp break down Aaron Donald. A great defensive tackle breaking down another great defensive tackle.
Yeah, you'd get a lot of.
Good TV.
He's really good. He's really good.
No.
Look, he's really good.
No, he goes set it up and how he plays on the edges. Now watch this move. Watch the head. Watch the chop. Rip to the quarterback. That's what you're going to get. I get Peyton Manning. He's looking at this. He's going to Omaha. Now they're trying to disguise it. It looks like it's going to be single high safety.
But you're having to do it against the noise, too. It's all silent signals. How do you do that?
Skip.
It's virtuoso, said Shannon Sharp.
You know how
it was.
You know what? I played a lot of games in Kansas City, and I don't know if you noticed that because, I played the bulk of my career in the AFC West, and a division opponent of ours were the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, when we went into that game, we tried to minimize, tried to take the crowd notes, but we knew it was going to get loud. They had very good teams. We knew what the audibles were. So guess what? When they come out here and John audible, I wonder what John is audibling to. Oh, the play that we practiced all week long. Ta-da!
Okay.
So stop trying to make it more difficult than what it is, Skip Bayless.
It was really difficult. You ought to go watch this. It's very
Skip, I don't need to watch it.
But the beauty of it is that every time he audibled, it gashed them. And you just said, oh, that was brilliant.
That's the whole
brilliant.
That's the whole purpose of audibling. To get out of a good play to a better play, a good play to a great play.
I've seen Dak Prescott go from good to bad.
Oh, that got Dak Prescott. Thank you. I'm glad you said that. And you wonder why I gave him an F 2 years ago. You shouldn't wonder. You just said it. He audible out of a good play to a bad play.
You shouldn't wonder why Tom Brady is far and away the best player in the Super Bowl.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
What happened in the last Super Bowl? He threw for 505 yards.
And just the fact that he's played in more Super Bowls than the entire Rams roster combined.
Yes. And all that's
hard to argue against that guy.
But he ain't the best.
Kind of would skip on this one, Shannon. You're out of luck. Should the Lakers give up everything for Anthony Davis? We'll discuss all that next.